What's up, everybody? Welcome to
Hello,
another episode of Fishing Friends with Danny and Gina. I'm Danny,
I'm Gina.
and this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Because Gina and I had now finished our first week of work together.
Yes. It's been great fun.
Yes, it has been. Gina claimed her spot right away.
I did. I was like, bitches, you're going to do it this way. Because I said so.
Well, not even just that, but we have like our drawers and stuff in the office, and she had stickers and stuff up immediately.
Immediately put Bulbasaurs on my
I
drawers.
saw Bulbasaurs and like, oh, Gina's here.
That's Gina's. I was even telling Brian, I was like, Danny's going to laugh as soon as he sees these Bulbasaurs and be like, dang, that was quick. I know whose that is.
Yep. Of course, I try to keep my drawers just like empty.
It's got my emotional support snacks.
Well, yeah, I need to start loading some snacks and some stuff up in there because, yeah.
That's how you get through the day. Yeah. So sorry if my camera angle is weird. We actually just went to Micro Center and got my early Christmas/birthday gift. So now I got double monitors. I'm so excited. So maybe I can start streaming. I need to finish setting up my OBS. Oh, I think this is really what's going to help motivate me to actually do it. So then you guys can watch me play some dumbass games.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we got Aquatic Moose here. What's up, Aquatic Moose? Jim's Fish, hello. Joshua Templeton, you added a plant. Yes, I did. Right there. It looked so plain and boring without one. So I added that fake plant. And then I'm not sure if it's going to do anything or not. But there, if you kind of look right on top of the egg at the base of the little thing right here, I clicked off a couple little succulents and put them in there, and we'll see if it does anything or not. I don't know if they can grow in that clay or not, so we'll see.
We'll see. Is it a real plant?
Yeah, real succulents.
Oh.
This is not. This is not.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought that was...
The little plants here, I put... Well, I had like 5. And he trampled over one and kind of destroyed it. So now there's 4 little, like, succulent tops that I put in there. And we'll see if they do it.
I was going to say, wait, that big grassy one looks like one of the fake ones we sell.
Yeah, that is one of the fake ones we sell.
It is.
Yeah. But it fits in quite well. The color of the base is perfect. But yeah, it just looked so empty without any sort of plant in there.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to maybe like turn it bioactive, but I'm not 100% sure what I need to do because I probably can't grow it in just the sand. I don't know if I should do like a sand dirt mixture or something, but I want to grow like a couple
with some sand cap.
Yeah, do a couple cacti in there, and then get some arid springtails.
Well, I was gonna say you would have to get cactus mix, because any kind of dirt might be too nutrient rich for those succulents.
What's in there, dude?
What's in there? He's right there.
This little guy right here is a bearded dragon.
Look at that little goofball.
Named Glowrum.
You go bigger for bioactive.
You need to go bigger. Yeah. You just keep telling me to go bigger. Well, I will eventually.
So I figured out how to make my like general text bigger, but like my Windows bar is like super tiny and I can't figure out how to make it bigger, and it looks like the whole thing is like shifted down. So I don't know how to fix this.
Oh.
Like my settings window.
I like everything as small as it can possibly be. I always make my resolution like super high so that the start bar is just this little bitty thin line.
Little bitty. Yeah, it's like a little thin line.
Icons are like this big.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's pretty small.
I just like a nice, clean looking desktop. So small icons,
Yeah. It'll take some getting used to. That's why they say smaller is better.
Exactly.
Aquatic moose.
Closer the longer they live. Well, yeah, of course.
Moose earlier said, "No, I'm Gina." I'm Danny. I'm Gina. No, I'm Gina.
Yep. He's been all right. He got a little bit of like food, or not food, like the sand like crusted up on his mouth or whatever. So I had to like get in there with like a toothbrush and help clean that off. Because I guess some of it wasn't like fully dry yet or whatever when I first put him in, because it happened like right away.
Right.
But he's doing fine now, and it hasn't built up anymore. Apparently she's me too. Hey there, FishFam. FishFam.link is here.
FishFam.link.
Right. Yeah, it's been. I mean, I've only been working at Petco now for, I guess that was the end of 4 weeks for me, or 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. Anyway, I started on the 17th. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's been 4 weeks then.
Oh, so you just got your first full paycheck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. That was nice.
Yes.
I can deal with that. So.
Pretty close to what you were making at Schwann?
It's about the same, if not a little bit more than what I was actually making on average.
Nice.
I was making some really good money there at the end because, I mean, a lot of people were ordering and stuff. But then that started dwindling off right there at the actual end. But
because you were running out of stuff.
Yeah. But the first like 2-3 weeks that we like announced that we were going out of business and everybody just started buying everything like crazy, like I made some good money at that time.
Yeah, I bet.
So, yeah. But now, I mean, what I'm making now is more than what I was making at Yellow Schwann's before we announced that we were closing. So, yeah. I'll be just fine. I just have to wait, every 2 weeks to get my paycheck. It was really nice to get a paycheck every single week.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I'm having Schwann's withdrawals. Yeah. There's a little bit of that. Friggin' we still have a group text between all of us, and one of them sent this picture of like all the trucks getting towed away and stuff.
Oh no, that's sad.
So yeah. It's Schwann's is gone officially,
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh is having Schwann's withdrawals, and I mean, I'm not there yet. I still have most of everything that I have ever gotten from Schwann's. I still have on the like 6 macaroni and cheese left. We'll see how long I can make those last or whatever. But yeah, when I start running out of this stuff, it's gonna be like really sad. Bought it
Yeah.
every 2 weeks for 30 years. Wow, I had no idea that you were a Schwann's person. I've been living off of it for the last, hardcore living off of it for the last 3 years that I've been working there. Like, the only other food that I was not getting that wasn't Schwann's was every so often I might get fast food, but I would maybe make myself a sandwich at home, of with deli meat, and you couldn't get deli meat from Schwann's. Other than that, it was all Schwann's. I was just going to the grocery store to get juice, coffee creamer, and sugar. And the hair is going to thank you. But I mean, I grew up on Schwann's too. I can't think of a time without looking in the basement freezer when I was a kid and that there wasn't some Schwann's ice cream in the freezer and some other stuff too, and always had Schwann's something. A lot of the meals that I had as a kid I didn't realize were coming from Schwann's as well, like the tortellini and stuff.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
I got food on the way home. I
Nice.
stopped and got Panda Express. Got
Nice.
myself one of their fancy crafted lemonades.
Well, I also
Delicious.
skipped lunch at work, so I was
I
busy.
did too.
I was busy
But I
manic
got
cleaning.
food on the way home.
Yeah, I was busy manic cleaning today.
Yeah. The store, it needs a lot of work.
Yes, but we're buying the tools that we need. Had the boss run out to the hardware store today and get some brushes and stuff. Brushes that go into a drill bit or into a drill. So start cleaning. Start deep cleaning.
Brushes that go into a drill.
Yeah.
So you scrub with the power drill?
You turn on the drill and it spins it.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a bottle brush in, and then there's 3 different grade flat discs for scrubbing.
Nice.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Once we get that store clean, we gotta keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
And then gotta get that back room all organized.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the next big project.
Getting
you another shelf for all your hardware. And then as we pull out backstock, sweeping, getting the floors clean.
I just gotta get all this freaking computer learning done too.
Yes.
It's so stupid, but I mean, I'm glad it's there. I pretty much know how to take care of all the animals, but on every single one of these animal care things that have popped up, there's been something that I didn't know. I've learned at least something new from all of this training that I've been through, and so it's worthwhile to me. And I know I need to do it. A lot of this stuff, it says I have to get it done before, the second week of January, but I don't want to put it off because we only got so much, actual, training hours.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian did a good job of trying to save it up until you got there so that...
Yes. Yes.
What is in the tank in the corner? This one right here. There's a golden gecko in there named Randall. And then in the little thing between, there's a tarantula.
Yeah.
And the tarantula doesn't have a name. But there's a tarantula.
Gina's gonna photosynthesize like Bulbasaur. Like a Bulbasaur, yeah. Except I'm never outside. I definitely, so these new monitors, I had to turn down the brightness. I first got into StreamYard. I'm just psh, and I was like, oh God, okay, turning that brightness down.
Yeah. If I were a plant, I would definitely be a low light indoor plant.
Yeah. Oh, Joshua says for those brushes, he has them for his stove. That's a good idea.
Nice. Randall Light Monsters Inc. Exactly. That's how he got his name, because golden geckos are closely related to like crested geckos. They just don't have like that arrowhead shaped face. And there's like that stick on the wall type.
Yes.
And so yeah, the way he moved around and his purple colors and the way that he would kind of change colors and stuff when he was there at Pet Supplies Plus when I worked there. That's how he got his name. Yeah, because they call them golden geckos, and typically they're kind of gold, but they have these kind of other colors that show up. Oops, wait a second. I did that wrong.
Moose says, Gina, you just need a full spectrum light above you. No, thank you. Then I will be red.
So when they're on like a lighter substrate or anything like that, they'll kind of be like that. When they get in like darker areas, they'll kind of change to like darker tones. My guy always seemed to be like very much like a darker, kind of more purple tone all the time. So that's how I call them Randall. But yeah, they stick on the walls. And
boy.
He got out once and it was a hard time catching him. And getting him to hold still for the video that I took with him, like, it was kind of, it took a little bit to catch him and to get him to hold still and all that. This picture really shows like the purpley sorts of colors that they can get. But it was actually this picture this picture that I actually used like Photoshop to cut this exact image out of the golden gecko to use for a thumbnail for the creation of his home. So you can actually look at that video if you want. It's kind of an old video, but it's there. It's got some nice music and stuff. I don't really do a lot of talking. It's mostly just me building the whole thing. I think I added some subtitles and stuff to kind of help people understand what I was doing. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Puppy dog.
He's been so cuddly. He's been so cuddly lately. Riley's doing much better. We finally took the cone off her today, and Nathan said he doesn't know who was more excited, her or him, that she had the cone off, because he could actually play with her.
Nice. The timer on my fish tank just turned the light off, and Kami, my blue and golden macaw, told me the TV turned off. Nice. Danny, do you have fish still? I have a couple mollies in my bedroom. And then I have at least one goldfish left in my pond. That was something that I was going to talk about. I think I mentioned it at the end of the live stream last week that I know some of my goldfish and koi had died because like my pond had frozen over, and I had gotten a lot of leaves in my pond, and I didn't quite realize how many were actually in there because of how dark the water got. And I should have done like a bigger water change on it or something, or done better trying to get some of the leaves out. But I think that's probably what caused a lot of the fish to die. So after my pond thawed out and I removed all the dead fish, which all 3 of my koi died. And I'm pretty sure I removed at least 2 goldfish as well. 2 like smaller ones. So I'm not sure exactly how many fish are left in my pond. If some of them also died, they just sunk down to the bottom and I didn't see them floating or whatever. But after I got all those fish out, I did a really big water change by actually turning the pump back on and just pulling the waterfall tray out and then just letting the water drain out the backside out of the pond versus back into the pond. And then I filled it back up and did like a really big water change. And then a couple days later, it got cold again and the pond froze back over. But I could actually see all the way down to the bottom. There's still quite a few leaves in there, man. So many leaves. But I did see at least one live fish swimming slowly under the ice. So there's at least one live goldfish in there. Hopefully 1 or 2 more. But now I know not to do that. Maybe I might want to get like a leaf net or something to go over the pond. Not like, maybe not keep it there all the time, but like when it's like fall time, like get that net set up when all the leaves are falling. And then get it out of the way. How big is the pond? I want to say like roughly like 800 gallons or so. It's good size. That's not like huge, but I don't remember my measurements. I'm gonna look up a picture here. There we go. This is like mid-spring or whatever, right after I got it finished and the plants all started settling in. At this point, I hadn't removed any of the water lettuce yet. That all started from 4 small pieces of water lettuce. So yeah, it's not like huge, but big enough for a couple koi and some goldfish. Something I can. I'm hearing voices.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to get my Discord to go through my headphones.
You just plug your headphones directly into your computer.
Well, I mean,
have all the sound come through the headphones.
But I don't know why Discord is just not recognizing my headphones.
Probably because you're in Streamyard.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll watch the video later. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's why you have to run everything through like OBS or whatever, because OBS is the universal input thing or whatever. And driver. I don't really understand all that stuff. I'll make a PVC dome and put netting. Yeah, something like that is what I'm talking about, like making like a leaf net. Was it prefab? No. Joshua Templeton, have you not been watching my channel at all? You did not. I dug that pond by hand, man, with a shovel.
You didn't watch the 3-hour.
This big.
You didn't watch the 3-hour live stream of Danny digging a hole?
Yeah, you gotta watch the 3-hour live stream. Danny dig a hole. Of course, it would be much better if I had like music playing with it, like that. You dig your hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy hole. I asked prefab before the picture. I know. But still, no, it was not prefab.
Nope. But it's pretty fab.
Yeah. I used the black hole to dig my dirt. I don't know what was up. I used the black hole to dig my duck pond. What, you had like a sinkhole or something? Like,
Now, what is it to make a black hole? Is it like when you ram two atoms together or whatever? That's what he did. He did that underground, and it just created a black hole, and then he filled it with water. I don't know. I don't know how black holes are made.
When a certain type of star explodes.
That's what it is. You're right. Oh, a backhoe.
Oh, a backhoe. Autocorrect. Oh, no, I think back hole, not black hole. Okay, yeah. See, my eyes auto-corrected the word back to black anyway, so. Wow. Yeah, see, I was originally going to use like an excavator, because at the time, my brother-in-law was running a landscaping business, and he had just rented an excavator, but he ended up having to return it back and didn't want to pay for a whole nother like day or two of time to, bring it over to my house, and also because of my work schedule and all that. It just wouldn't have worked out with my work schedule. So it just didn't work out with the excavator, so I just started doing it by hand. But I started digging it out by hand even like 2 years ago. Or 3 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Black holes. Yeah. What's up, Mickey? Yeah, I guess I don't know how long you've been around, Josh. I feel like you've been around for a while. But maybe you haven't necessarily been. No,
I snatched him from the knife community, so it's only been a few months.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that name had been around for a while. But anyway, you'll have to go back and look at some of my older stuff. Well, I'd say older stuff. I really only have older stuff for the most part. But let's see. When did I start digging that pond? Let's see. I fixed the waterfall 3 years ago on the small pond. And then it broke again. And so then, yeah, 2 years ago was when I started digging out the pond to get bigger because the line busted out. And then I finished the pond 7 months ago.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Been in the animal community forever, but I've only been doing live streams 2 months. Okay. Well, cool. What's up, Big Steve?
Big Steve. Hello, hello. Yeah, tomorrow will be my, third 6 a.m. shift?
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fine. I'll be fine.
I have to close again.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of missing out on some of the online gaming that I do with my friends because my new work schedule and stuff. So some of them actually I played with a little bit right before the live stream. Actually, they played a little late today just so that I could, which
Aw.
was nice of them. Because the last several Sundays I've been closing on Sundays, which you close at 7 and out at 7:30. So, but I have to be in at noon. It's not a bad time, but we always started gaming at like 11 a.m. So now I've been kind of hopping on at like 10:15 or like 10:30 and been like playing for like an hour and then putting my shoes on and hopping in the car and going to work.
Yeah. 6 a.m. at Petco, or did you get a new job? Nope, at Petco. So it's animal cleaning day. So I have 4 hours before the store opens to get as much animal cage cleaning done as I can.
Yep.
But then also have to like stop at like 8:30 to remember to open up the registers, or I guess 9:30 because it's Sunday. We don't open till 10. So
yeah. I think that's fantastic, honestly.
Yeah.
Petco allows us to schedule hours outside of normal business hours to do animal cleaning and to also work on the truck.
Yeah.
Because, past experience trying to unload all that truck and everything while you have customers in the store, like
it's rough.
It's rough. Yeah, it's really, really rough. And then, you got all those DC boxes in the back full of product. People are coming in looking for that product. You got it in, but you don't know which box it's in. And so you're wasting all this time in the back digging through the boxes.
Because as much as the distribution center, says that those boxes are sorted, they are not.
Right.
There's a little bit of everything in every box.
Exactly. So it's really nice to actually go in early, get all that stuff done, and then just focus on the store and taking care of customers and all that stuff the rest of the day.
Yeah, because we had truck done pretty quickly last week.
Yeah, that was definitely a smaller truck too. But yeah, I myself was feeling a little like dizzy and stuff too because I just I talked about it with you earlier that I take a bunch of those Ollie vitamins and stuff. I love them. But I saw this new one that was like, it was called like Active Brain or something.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever. It was like these fruit chews. And it's like this new one. So I thought I'd try it. And I knew it had caffeine in it. And I've never been like sensitive to caffeine. But it had a bunch of like other vitamins and stuff. More or less, this was like an energy drink in a chew on top of like all the like the coffee and stuff that I was drinking. So like I started getting kind of lightheaded and stuff, especially when I was moving like the cat litter and all that. I was like, holy crap, like don't pass out.
Right. Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah. But man, like I'm not gonna be taking one of those at 6 a.m. anymore. That's just gonna stick in my cabinet for a day when I like really need it or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it would just make me super nice and alert and ready to get that truck done, which it did. But then like it didn't give me like the jitters or anything like that. It just like made me like lightheaded and all that. And what game are we playing? most of the time I've been playing. It's a game called City of Heroes, which I recommend if you like superhero stuff and you like MMOs and you're not gonna like be mad at like old school kind of not like RuneScape type graphics.
Is it
but
Warsaw
like
Rising?
old song? No, City of Heroes.
Yeah, Warsaw Rising, City of Heroes, or just City of Heroes?
No, City of Heroes. If anything, City of Heroes Homecoming. But just search City of Heroes.
It's not on Steam.
Oh, you can't. Well, I don't think you can get it through Steam. It is the it did just originally be it did just recently officially become licensed again. For a long time, it was running on like illegal servers. I've been playing on illegal servers for the last couple of years, or several years actually. It originally was released in 2004. So yeah, it's kind of, let's see. It's not like super good graphics, but it's not like bad graphics. You know, like this level. But you can do a whole lot of different sorts of stuff as far as creating your character and picking all sorts of different costumes and changing colors, and there's all different sorts of like power types and archetypes, and like you can be like a fire person with an ice shield, or there's so many different things you can do. You can be a tank type, you can be a supporter character. There's a character type called the mastermind, where you actually have like a bunch of little like NPCs that you have like semi control over to like go out and attack for you and do things like that. There's lots of different things you can do. Super duper versatile, and you can create like super groups and play with teams up to like 8 people and do different missions and things together. It's really, really fun. We play on Sundays predominantly, and sometimes on Saturdays as well.
Vibes says, I'm here. Hi, Vibes.
But you will get in trouble if you like make a character that looks exactly like an official copywritten character and you do a name that is very much like the copywritten name. But there's certain things you can do to get around that. You can always have multiple costumes and spend most of your time in a costume that doesn't look anything like a certain character, or you can always do like a little bit of wordplay. So not all, but most of my characters that I have are based off of Spider-Man characters, predominantly Spider-Man villains, but I always make like them as heroes mostly because I just like to play on the hero side versus the villain side. There's a totally different story arc whether you go hero or villain, and so that instead of like Mysterio, like the very first character I made, instead of spelling it straight up like Mysterio, I spelt it like this in chat. Mr. Yo. And we even kind of joke around. And I even have like in his character descriptions like Dr. Stephen Yo. like his name isn't Mysterio, his name is Mr. Yo.
Mr. Yo.
But he looks very much like Mysterio. And he's a controller type that does illusions and has like mechanical trap sorts of things and stuff.
Gotcha.
So
That's pretty neat.
It's like Mysterio, and then the most recent character that I made, I finally figured out a way to make a character that had like an octopus like attachment or whatever. So I made a Doc Ock type character. And what's funny is since I can have multiple costumes, the Doc Ock character can also work as like an Iron Spider type character.
Ooh.
So I've done Iron Spider and Doc Ock in multiple different ways with this character now in the costume creator. But I think with the same character, you start with like 6 costume slots, so you can have a lot of different costumes. And I think you can even purchase more costume slots if you want. But yeah,
very nice.
and the name that I picked, since I can't obviously do like Doc Ock or like Dr. Octopus or anything quite exactly like that, I went with the name Scholar Squid.
There you go.
So it's close enough to me that I know what it is, and the people around me know that it's supposed to be like Doc Ock, but it completely saves saves itself from the copyright. You know, I was gonna do something with cuttlefish, because I like cuttlefish, but I couldn't think of like a doctor sort of name that started with an S. I mean, with a C, or even a K for that cuss sound. But scholars, like scholars good there. That's like doctor like.
Vinoxky, hello.
Findowski, nice.
Joshua said,
symbol, I like that. That's cool.
Joshua said, I used to do water changes at 2 a.m., rodent bins, and reptile cages, etc. Oh, yeah. Luckily, our store doesn't have too many habitats, so.
Yeah. And, Brian did say that he could always schedule time like after, but I don't know about you. I'd much rather go in early and get that done than
we were talking about that with
work
Truck.
an entire day and then
and then try to get motivated. Yeah, that's what I told him about Truck. He's like, I know some of the other associates aren't morning people. I'm like, well, I'm not either. But starting a day working Truck is much better and easier than ending a day working Truck.
Yep.
Because you're not going to have anybody that's going to come in at 9 o'clock and then working till 1, 2 in the morning.
Right.
Working Truck.
Yep. Not me. Don't want to do that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, when you get in there early and you get it done, like not only can you actually potentially get it all done before the customers even get in the store, which is just great if you can get that done. But you then just like, once the day actually starts and you start having customers in the store, like your day's already halfway done.
Yeah.
And it's like, but next thing you know, it's like, oh shoot, I'm going home.
Yep. I know that's the other thing is getting used to that shift is like remembering to finish all my dishes and stuff. Like that's my goal is to not leave any dishes in the sink. Get it all done, start to finish, like completely done. Not just the cages are clean, time to go. Like, no, start to finish, 100% done.
Right. Yeah. Because, I came into some craziness last week on Sunday.
Yeah. It was a little fun. It was fun.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you and Brian had some serious fun, but
Well, he just kept trying to
dishes
help.
all over,
Yeah.
and then
There's a lot of us trying to work over each other, and we kind of got in each other's way. And then I assumed he took something else back, and he didn't. And so, yeah.
But it was funny too, because then I go in and I'm like, you know, saying like, Gina, we got to make sure we feed the lizards small crickets, not medium crickets or large crickets, because these guys can choke on it and stuff. And Brian's all like, "Oh, he's getting on you."
And I was like, "Cool, Brian, you were the one who gave them crickets." And he goes, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I didn't
But
touch
that's
the
the thing
crickets today."
I called out Brian on it
Yeah.
first, and he's like, "It was Gina the one that did it." So
That
they're
is not
sitting
me.
there like,
That is not
nobody was willing to claim who got the crickets. They're just pointing fingers at each other.
Hey, man, if it was me, I'd be like, "Ah, dang, you right, my bad."
Either way, I
It's
ain't
not me.
afraid to correct somebody.
No, and I appreciate it. Tell me if I did something wrong. Ain't no way I'm gonna fix it otherwise.
Yep. Gigi didn't like my cocky ass attitude, apparently, but
She can get over it.
Brian had to put her in her place about it too.
It's all good. There's definitely going to be an adjustment period.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll get it figured out. It'll be fine.
Oh yeah. No, it's gonna be great. And
so Jacob, who now works with the vet clinic, I told him today, I was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'm here now." And I'm here at this store. He goes, "Oh, I thought you were just helping." I was like, "Nope, I am now here." And he goes, "What happened?" I was like, "Well, the other two managers are now gone." He goes, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah." And so it's Danny and Brian and I. He goes, "Danny." I was like, "Yeah, Pet Supplies Plus Danny." He goes, "You got Danny here?" I was like, "Yeah."
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's the guy at the that works at the clinic.
Yeah.
At
the
Petco.
Vetco. Yeah, Vetco. He used to be another manager back before I quit.
Really?
He worked at that store. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And so he knows who I am.
He knows who you are. Yep. He remembers when you used to shop in the store.
That's interesting. It was funny because that's been an interesting thing too. Is like Denise apparently like somebody that works at this Petco knows who I am from used to watch the channel. Used to watch Gina and I live streaming like early on, like when we first started, and she's been too busy to watch the last like year or so, I guess. But
yeah, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, she's got like 1,000 cats.
She's the neighborhood crazy stray cat lady. She takes care of all the strays. And I mean, like, takes care of them. Like, every time there's a new one that pops up, she catches it and she gets it fixed. Like, she is not adding to the problem. She's just making sure they're taken care of.
I bet most people, most of them do. The people that don't are the people that probably aren't going to last there very long.
Yeah. And
some of them might have been there for a while, but they just have an attitude that like I'm not the only one that's like noticed or whatever. It's just we have to get good management in there first, which we now have. And then now that we have good management, we can take some time to fine tune the team a little bit and, get rid of the people that aren't on board and to make room for people that will be on board. And I was even talking about today that I was going to maybe take a trip down to my old job at Pet Supplies Plus this Monday or Tuesday. And, go there to buy some crickets or whatever, like I used to always do. And if there's anybody in there that I think, that I've not even talked to, because there's this one girl that has been working there for a while that seems to really do a good job and enjoy it there and have a great personality. But I know she would like to get away from Alicia. So I've been telling her that she should put in an application, and I don't think she ever actually did. So I'm going to tell her, like, if she's there, I'm like, you need to put in an application, because if you do, like, we'll probably hire you.
Yep. Joshua says, I'm known as the guy from the internet at my Petco. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so remember how I used to say that like fish customers, like the regulars, would come in and tell anybody who was new that was giving me flack, like, oh no, you need to listen to her, she knows what she's doing. One of my old saltwater customers was there yesterday, and yeah, I walked up because there was a page for fish, and I walk up and he's talking to one guy. He goes, oh yeah, and her, you need to listen to her, she taught me everything I need, and I know about coral. I've been doing saltwater longer than she is, but she taught me, she knows what she's talking about. And the guy's like, oh okay. I was like, oh, I miss this.
Yep.
I miss this so much.
Yep.
So yeah, some of my old customers still shop there, and they still got my back.
Yeah, it's nice that it's cool to see some of your old customers, right? And it's nice that some of my old Schwann's customers shop there. It's cool that Nathan's dad comes in.
Yeah.
Who I thought was your dad at first.
He does look like he could be my dad.
Yeah, he looks like he could be your dad.
Yeah.
And the way that he was acting, like, I thought he was your dad. So,
yep.
Oh, by the way, I get Gina's discount. She's my dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, Danny walks in the office and he's like, your dad's here. I was like, no, he's not. That's Nathan's dad. I know, that's Nathan's dad. I haven't talked to my dad in 13 years.
Yep. I didn't know.
No, I know. It's all good.
What is the fish of the year for 2024? Are you asking, like, my personal fish? Or are you asking, like, what was the most popular fish that what Petco sold for 2024? Or, I don't know. Anyway, I haven't been working at Petco long enough to know what their fish of 2024 would be.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I just transferred to this store. I've been there for a week now, so I'm not sure what the pattern is for this store. I would say probably guppies.
Yeah. Guppies are, like, always the number one fish.
Yeah. Probably one of the types of betas. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we do have a lot of people that come in and, get multiple betas. Most of the time they're looking for females, actually, which I've been trying to tell them that we need to increase our female selection. And we have some females that go directly into a fish tank.
Yep.
Like a sorority. And we have not had, like, any real problems with that. Not any more problems with putting betas in those tanks than any other fish. Like, I mean, one or two might pop up, dead here and there, and that happens. But like I said, it's the same as it is with any other fish. It's not like we're noticing that the betas are going after each other or anything like that. They actually seem to get along very well. Mm-hmm. And it's nice for the customers to see the betas in an actual fish tank getting along, and you can actually see the beauty of the females as well when they're
a lot of people
around versus sitting in a cup.
A lot of people don't recognize them when they're in the tank. They're just like, what fish is that? And I was like, oh, it's a female beta. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, the females can go together. And yeah, those, I've only ever seen them in those little cups or in little tiny bowls. And I'm like, yeah, Yeah, they're cool little fish. Put them in a whole ass tank. Joshua says, would be the clownfish for marine. They sold the most this year than they have in the last 5. Yes. A lot of people, clownfish are always popular.
I have been looking at these darn clownfish swimming around in our tanks, and I've just been like, man, I want to set up a little saltwater tank for these clownfish because we just got this new, like, little maroon velvet clown.
He's little bitty.
Oh my goodness.
What was I catching? I was getting something out of one of those top tanks, and I look over and I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, that is the tiniest little maroon clown I've ever seen. He was just a little guy, a little tiny guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is what he is. He's one of the little dot maroons, I think. Right? One of these. The Morse code maroons.
I think so, yeah.
Or something along those lines. He's got little bitty stripes like that. And he's so cute.
He's so little. Oh my gosh.
But I've been wanting to. There's this 14-gallon, like all-in-one saltwater cube that they sell or resell at Petco, and it's in. We only have one spot on the sales floor for it, but now there's a new like smart version of it available. So we could order the smart version, but we don't have room on the sales floor. We just have room for that one right now. So we need to get that one sold so we can get the smart one in. But I've been also thinking about just buying it myself because, yeah, I've been looking at these darn clownfish. I want to get like the little anemone and a pair of clownfish that don't get too big and just set that up with maybe a couple of corals and stuff too. And just that'd be so cool.
I still owe you a Zoa rock.
Oh yeah.
You put that in there.
And I think don't you have a feather duster for me too? And
maybe. I don't know if it's still in there because I did just have that mini crash. My Zoas are fine.
Oh yeah.
But I have to look to see if I still have that feather duster.
Yeah. Seahorses?
So seahorses, at least the ones that we sell, would probably need at least like a 30-gallon or larger.
Yeah. My seahorses are cool. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not interested enough in seahorses to do the extra saltwater work required to keep seahorses because like they need a lot of flow but not too much flow, but actually not a lot of flow at all because if they have too much flow then they just get blown around. But like you need a lot of flow in salt water to keep bad things from happening. So you have to like find the happy medium with that to get the perfect balance. And then you need lots of the right types of corals. You can't get like any sorts of like stinging anemones or anything like that at all.
Anything with stingers. Like there's some stony corals that have stingers too.
Yep. And then for the most part, seahorses just sit there.
Yeah, so that's the other thing with seahorses is finding out where they're sourced and what they're currently eating, making sure they're fed enough but not too much because you need a really stable tank. Yep. They do not.
There's some seahorses that you can pretty much only feed them like baby brine shrimp, whether they baby or live, like adults or whatever. So you want to set up a good sea monkey tank.
Yep. Or frozen, which then makes going out of town hard because then you got to entrust somebody to feed them when you're gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's if you can get them to eat the frozen ones.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just really not that interested in seahorses. I've watched enough documentaries on them and seen them give birth in HD video before. Like, that's good enough for me. And in fact, like documentaries and stuff always made me think that seahorses were a lot bigger than they actually are in real life too. To where I just think the videos are better, in my opinion, than watching a seahorse in real life. And yeah, like most of the time they just sit there on the coral and really don't really do much. They're not a very active fish. They don't swim well, and so not my cup of tea.
And you'll need to get people to learn how to take care of salt tanks pretty fast too. Yeah, so that's the other thing. I would never order a seahorse into a Petco unless somebody is looking, like, ask me to get them one. I'm not going to just carry them in the store just for willy-nilly anybody to buy.
Right. And so that's what I really like about those all-in-one tanks, because they always come with the right amount of filtration for that tank. So, in fact, most of the time, I think the amount of filtration that they actually allow you to have when you start like messing around with it and adding your own stuff to it, you can get so much more filtration than what's actually necessary for those tanks. Mm-hmm. So this 14-gallon cube not only does it have really nice dimensions to have like a little singular like stone island with a couple of corals and an anemone for clownfish, but it's got great space in the bag for all the filtration that it comes with, plus all extra space to where it actually has enough space to where you can add a protein skimmer in the back, and like you can add a heater back there, and basically put everything you need in the back of the tank in the built-in sump filtration, to where like the only thing that is not like your actual part of the fish tank that you want out there is just the little nozzles for the spray coming back from the water. So all you see is just your substrate, your rocks, your corals, your fish, whatever. It's gorgeous. I want to get one of those.
Joshua says we rarely carried seahorses. We did better with octopi than we did seahorses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey says, when I worked at an LFS 25 years ago, we had the blue ring octopus. That's cool.
See, that is really cool, but also like incredibly dangerous.
That sounds like a liability in all the wrong ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
For your workers, for the customer who's going to buy it.
Yeah. That just does not seem... Yeah, that does not seem like a smart idea. It's not like you can't interact with it at all. Like the blue ring octopus, their beak is so small and sharp that they can accidentally bite you and you won't even know that you got bit. And then you're just dead. And then there's other species of the blue ring octopus, because there's not just one species of blue ring octopus, but there's different ones that they actually have spines in their suckers to where you can get the venom that way. So it's just like you can't put your hand in the tank unless you're wearing like some super crazy gloves or something, because octopus are very like, curious and all that stuff. They want to get up and grab you and all of that. I ain't touching a blue ring octopus. You say they're not venomous in captivity. Is that because of what they eat? Like, are they like poison dart frogs?
Yeah, that's what I'm googling it too, and yeah.
Either way, I still.
They accumulate the toxin by feeding on toxic marine organisms in the sampling area. Oh, neat.
The downside is they're very short-lived.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say cuttlefish are very short-lived too.
Oh yeah, we got all of our dart frogs out together in one habitat.
Yeah,
instead of in
so
these little
that's
stupid
nice.
cubes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had 3 tarantulas, and we had this little bitty thing out that had some arrow frogs in there, and it wasn't enough because we had 2 other types of arrow frogs, but we had to keep them in the back because there just wasn't enough space. So since we weren't really selling the Pac-Man frogs, we kept one and we took one to another store, and then they set up a bigger enclosure, and it has all the poison dart frogs in there, and it looks so good with all the little colorful little frogs jumping around.
Yeah.
I want those too.
I know, they're so cool.
But I also don't want to have to take care of them.
Yes.
At home.
Yes.
Because those little flightless fruit flies or whatever that you have to deal with, I would not want to keep those in my house.
Yeah. Because, yeah, once you open that thing, they just freaking go everywhere.
They do. They do. They just go. Mm-hmm. And then you try to close the lid, and then you kill, 20 of them.
Yeah.
Which I guess, whatever, in the long run, it doesn't matter. They only live 24 hours or whatever anyway. It's just like...
You feel bad.
Yeah. And you feel like you wasted them. And it's like you could have been food. And now you're just dead.
Yeah. Now you're not helping anybody. You're just dying.
Right.
I was a rookie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Speaking of food and whatever, some of the mice that we got in are so adorable.
They are. Oh, I
Most
hate it
of the time we just get all white ones, maybe some that are kind of black and gray. But some of the ones that we got they have all this different spotting. And there's this one that has this little brown eye patch, and I'm just like, oh my goodness.
I hate it when we get the multicolored ones because it's like, oh dang it, now you're cute. Now I feel really bad.
But speaking of the mice too, I think it is so funny that there are some picky snakes out there that only want to eat a certain type of mouse.
Yep.
But what's even funnier is that if a snake is picky, it's always picky for the white mice.
So no, I've actually had it both ways. I've had somebody with a snake that will only eat white mice, like male white mice. And then I've also had people that had a snake that would only eat a certain gender, and it had to be a dark mouse. Like it could not be a white mouse.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had it all kinds of ways.
So far, in my experience, the only people that have been asking for a specific mouse have been asking for white mice.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really funny that snakes are racist like that.
No, they've probably had a bad experience. They were probably bit by one that was dark, and now it ties that.
That, or they just don't quite see it the same, or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just funny, and I say racist. I don't actually mean it, but yeah, it's just funny.
I once had a ball python in the store, like a store's ball python. that would only eat frozen mice if they were shaken in guinea pig bedding, like dirty guinea pig bedding.
Yeah.
Would not eat it if it was shaken in mouse bedding, hamster bedding, gerbil bedding. No, it had to be guinea pig.
Wow.
Yeah. So it would only eat guinea pigs.
Huh. That's nuts. All right. So Mickey said when he was a rookie, a customer told him about the venom, not his boss. So sold corals from that tank many times.
Oh no!
Man.
What a jerk boss.
No, so it's funny too because I had somebody come in like the very next day after I had sold that lionfish to come in and buy 2 turbo snails, 3 turbo snails, and he wanted them out of that tank, and I was reaching in and grabbing them, and I was grabbing them with my hand and trying to get them off the glass just by adding just a little bit of pressure. And those turbo snails are some strong ass snails, man.
Yep.
Like I have dealt with mystery snails and rabbit snails and nerite snails, and I mean nerite snails are pretty strong, right? But these dang turbo snails, oh my gosh, there was no getting it off the glass. I had to like pry it up just enough to where I could get my finger in there underneath and just like start poking it. And once I started poking its body, then it was just like, something's touching me. Like,
yeah, I do the spin method.
So I'm sitting there with my hand in there. I'm just like, man, I am so glad you came in for here, like for these, like today, because there was a lionfish up in here in the tank up until yesterday. And I would not be sticking my hand in here if there's a lionfish. So you would be just lucked out. I'm sorry.
It'd be fine. Lionfish is more scared of you.
Yeah. I probably would have been in there with the net trying to poke him.
Right. Or with the feeding tongs and like try to poke the snail off the rock.
Yep. Let go.
Yeah. Wyoming just legalized hognose, but expanded the poisonous frog list to include 12 more species.
Nice.
I had snakes be picky on gender, color, size, etc. Yes. And then he said, I had a snake that would only eat brown mice scented in gerbil bedding. Yeah, so gerbil bedding is a pretty... Hamster and gerbil is usually the two if dirty mouse bedding doesn't work. Those are the 2 other ones that usually work. Just I was desperate. This snake would not eat for multiple weeks, and I was about to send it to the vet for force feeding. And I was like, you know what? Let's try guinea pig bedding, and then it worked. And then the next week, I would try to go back to like gerbil or hamster bedding. Would not eat it. I rinsed it off, put it back in the dirty guinea pig bedding, and took it right away. I was like, you are just a jerk. You are just a picky jerk.
Yeah. You know, some of the training videos that I've been watching, like I said, in every single one of them, I've been at least learning at least one thing about every single animal or whatever that I've been watching. Even animals that I kept for a long time, I was learning something new from these videos. And I never really knew much about gerbils at all. And I would never have ever recommended like a gerbil as a pet to anybody just because they're like super fast and all that. But I've come to realize that actually a gerbil would be a really good pet for a lot of different sorts of people because, I mean, one, they are kind of personable and can, be held and all that stuff. And you can have a lot of fun just like playing with them, training them and stuff like that. But one of the best things is that I didn't actually know, but they're diurnals. So they're awake during the day and they sleep at night. So they fit most people's schedules a little bit better. Whereas hamsters are nocturnal. So you can try to get it on your sort of schedule, but you know they're not on most people's schedules, and waking up your hamster when they're trying to sleep is just bad news. You shouldn't do that at all. And then like guinea pigs they pretty much are only awake during dusk and dawn, as are ferrets.
Yeah, they crepuscular.
Yeah,
is the term. Yeah, they take naps during the afternoon.
Yep. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like they're asleep like 18 hours of the day.
Ferrets, yeah.
And guinea pigs too. But then when they're awake, they're very much awake.
Just remember hot water for the lionfish stings. Yes. Oh my gosh! Speaking of the guinea pigs, the freaking males, the regular ones, not the naked ones. I freaking put hay in their habitat this morning. 2 of them immediately bulldoze it and spread it everywhere. It looks like I didn't even put hay in there. I was like, "You freaking jerks!"
So it's that's doing that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Immediately, like 10 seconds. I make the nice little stack, and they immediately bulldoze it. And I was like, "You freaking jerks!" Now it looks like I didn't even give you hay.
The one that is like has the fluffy textured hair with like the half white face. He's been establishing dominance over those other ones.
Yeah, well, I might have to start separating them soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he nibbles a little too hard. Like I've let him come up to me a couple times, and he'll do like that little test nibble, and then he starts to bear down, and I'm just like, just stop being a jerk. Stop it.
Yep.
You're never gonna find a home if you're biting people.
Right.
Yeah. Just remember hot water for lionfish stings. Yes. Hot water will help diffuse the venom.
Oh, so I shouldn't pee on Gina if she gets stung by a lionfish?
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
Okay. Good to know.
Good to know. Rules are way harder here nowadays. Dang, it was more than 30 years ago. It was the 90s. My boss started a fish store just for fun, and then came the Swedish economic crisis. Interests skyrocketed. Yep.
Which, yeah, it's kind of funny because when I was talking to my boss earlier about how I was maybe going to go down to Pet Supplies Plus and see if any of them wanted, a job somewhere else. He was saying that he had heard somewhere that Pet Supplies Plus was going bankrupt or just filed for bankruptcy or something along those lines. I hadn't heard anything about that. I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm honestly not that surprised if that's what's happening. They had some great things that they were trying to do, but they were also way behind in a lot of stuff. When like PetSmart and Petco are, making advancements in the industry, Pet Supplies Plus was still trying to catch up to things that Petco and PetSmart did 5 years ago or whatever. So, yeah, I'm just kind of not surprised. And I mean, also, like, there's still so many people out there that had like never even heard of it.
Yeah.
So the only reason I even heard of Pet Supplies Plus was because when I was moving out to this area, I drove past it straight down Lindbergh so many times when I was just like, oh, there's a pet store there that's not PetSmart or Petco. Like, let me give it a try and see what it's like, because I don't know, I was just wanting something that was different. Like I said, I kind of, we all have our things against big box stores or whatever. And now it's like, yeah, I work for one, but I still I have my issues with them as well. Like, it does kind of suck that we get animals from more or less, like, just big animal vats. That's the word I use to describe it. Like the fetal goldfish just come in and who knows what they were grown in. Just a giant stock pond of fish that are inside, outside, who knows. But like, yeah. But like it's interesting though, is like Petco still has this like what they call an adoption first mentality. So it's like whether you get an animal from us or from somewhere else, like we still want to help you get set up and make sure that you take care of the animal properly. And if you feel like it's better for you to go and get an animal from a breeder versus from us, like do that. Just make sure it's a good breeder.
Yeah.
Not like one of those people that are just like, well, you can have a fantastic breeding setup out of your basement, so I'm not necessarily saying that, but don't just go to anybody that's breeding bearded dragons out of their basement. But there's some great breeders out there that would be willing to give you like all the help that you need. And a lot of those people out there, they like really hate big box stores. But what can you do? Have you seen the video of the wild hamster, that domestic hamster? I have not seen the video of wild hamsters. That must be pretty cool.
Or maybe I have, and I'm just not remembering it.
I've seen cool videos of people keeping hamsters in like natural style enclosures, and that's some really cool stuff. If I ever do keep a hamster, I'm definitely going to keep a hamster in a bioactive vivarium and like plant little seedlings and stuff in there and give him the ability to make his own tunnels and all that versus like putting him in a cage with bedding. Yes, we do sell Petco does sell underground filters.
And we now have sponge filters. I'm so excited for. Oh, I've been waiting for that for years.
And I've always been a big fan of hang on the back filters. That's just me. Some people are like super against them. I just like the way they function, where you can like put a sponge on the end and have like the sponge filter and then have it suck up and go through all the other sorts of filter media and then come back out and get this really nice sort of flow of water over the surface. But Aqueon has been making these crazy advancements with all of their filters. They started with the little mini bow, like they're all in one little systems. I made my beginner setup videos off of the Aqueon Mini Bow 5, and it had this new smart filter, like smart clean technology. And I talked all about that in the videos, but more or less in this little bitty 5-gallon tank, the filter has this little arm that you can pull up. And instead of putting the water back into the tank, you can pull it up and it shuts it off and you rotate it out and you put it back down and it starts shooting the water out of the tank into a bucket or whatever else. Well, now Aqueon has brought that same technology into like all of their internal and hang on the back filters. So those little like quiet flow filters that they sell for like shrimp tanks and stuff that are like internal filters, they have a little arm that you can pull out now. And the hang on the back filters, not only do they have the whole little arm, they actually come with some extra like rubber plastic, like gravel vac type tubing to where you can literally turn the hang on the back filter into a gravel vac or whatever and just suck the water right out of your tank and put it into a bucket. And that way you don't have to necessarily buy a gravel vac if you're not actually, sitting there and gravel vacuuming the substrate. Or you can do both. You can have it sucking out of one, and you can have it gravel vacuuming out of the other, and suck the water out of your tank twice as fast.
So going back to that hamster, it's brown and its underside is jet black, and it stands up and flares the black to scare predators. That's cool. That's really cool.
Wild hamster.
And then Joshua says, I beta tested those 20 years ago.
Whoa.
That's awesome. Are you wowing the hamster?
Yeah.
Oh my god, look at those cheeks. Holy shit.
And
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's the Syrian, the teddy bear hamsters. Oh my god, those ears. Oh,
but then god. The black underbelly. That's just awesome.
That's so freaking cute. So that's a pet one. Yeah.
And that's the wild one.
That's the wild one. Oh my god, those cheeks and those ears.
Look at it running.
Oh my god.
Gosh, that's adorable.
That's so freaking cute.
It's like a red panda.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why'd they freaking breed out the black belly? That's so cute. Because look at those little paws. Meant
to. I don't know.
Look at those little paws.
I know, it's so cute.
Except they're huge compared to domestic. Oh, and they're bigger.
Oh wow.
God. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's adorable.
Oh yeah, look at it compared to that apple.
Oh my gosh, so freaking cute.
It's like baby guinea pig size.
Right.
I need one.
They're so freaking cute. Yeah, so cute. I know.
I want it.
Sand/gravel filters are awesome. Large ones are often used by wholesalers or water maintenance companies. Yep. Oops. They're very hard to keep compared to domestic. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
domestic hamsters aren't that easy to keep either. People just treat them like they are.
Yeah.
And then they die. And then people buy another hamster.
Yeah. I always like to sell them in tanks, or sell tanks to go for them to be kept in, like a 20 long or even bigger, because they really do need more surface area and deeper substrate.
Yeah. See, there's a strange debate between whether you should get like a cage or a tank. And it's like, when you get a tank, you struggle a little bit more with the ability of keeping it well ventilated.
Yeah.
But what's cool is, like, at least even at Petco, they sell a tank topper.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can have a normal, like, 10-gallon tank underneath, and then there's like a ramp that goes up, and then there's a lid that goes on top, and then there's a cage over that where you can have the cage and the tank.
Yep.
But yeah, hamsters for real, they need lots of substrate, whether you're going to get that fluffy stuff or give them like an actual, like, natural dirt and sand and whatever sort of mixture to dig around in. They live underground. They live like prairie dogs, but instead of living in a big family like prairie dogs or naked mole rats or any of that, they live in solitary lives. So they have their little burrow and stuff. This enclosure for this bearded dragon, like with this whole, that might be great for a hamster. Honestly.
Oh yeah, that would be. Except they would want to dig it themselves. They wouldn't want to.
Yeah. they want to dig it themselves and dig it more down versus digging it kind of straight out like I did. But even so, like, you guys, if you haven't seen it, you have to look it up. There's people that do 100% natural enclosures
Yep,
for
bioactive.
hamsters.
Yep.
The same way that fish keepers do planted aquariums, and the same way reptile keepers do bioactive, vivariums or whatever for their reptiles and stuff. And it is the coolest thing to see hamsters actually interacting with a natural environment like they would in the wild versus like seeing this guy running on a little hamster wheel.
Yeah. They only have 2 to 3 babies a season, and they can chew nearly anything. Yeah, I could see that. And the moms carry the babies in their cheeks.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is adorable. Why do we get pictures in my mind of the Monty Python Killer Rabbit? Because it's probably not far off. I used 4-foot totes when I kept hamsters. Yep.
4-foot totes. Wow.
Yep.
I wonder, there's a certain channel that I want to see if I can find it. That
Yeah, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Oh, I know what you're referencing. Nathan loves that.
Oh my goodness! I just searched this on YouTube, but look at this right here. It's so cool. It's like I want to make like little hobbit homes for hamsters.
Yeah.
Make like a little mini shire, but Hamster Lab. This is the channel you guys have to watch. He's been documenting so many different types of setups and hamster things and whatever else and how to set it up. But he's got this little hamster that I'm pointing with my actual finger now. He's got this little hamster that lives in there and burrows around, and it's so cool. Let's see, there we go. Yeah. Some really cool stuff. Even some up against the glass so you can watch them explore underground and all that too. Yeah, definitely spend some time and watch a couple of these videos. Some are, 5, 8, 9 minutes long. Some are kind of extra short, but there's some really, really fun stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Hamster Lab.
It's pretty cool.
I've always thought if I was going to keep any sort of pet, I would want to keep it as close to like their natural environment as I can.
Right.
And so that was another reason why I wanted to definitely get like a fake plant in here, because typically bearded dragons don't drink water. Is like where they don't have like, I don't know. Bearded dragons don't walk up to a stream and start drinking water out of a stream, and they typically don't have like standing water anywhere where they're at. They might find a puddle here and there, but really where they live it's super arid. There's not standing water anywhere. So if they drink any sort of water, it's when they wake up in the morning and there's the morning dew and they lick it right off the leaves of the plants. And so that's what I've been trying to do is, have that plant in there. And then in the morning, I'll come in and I'll just mist the plant, kind of mist around just a little bit, but mainly just mist the plant to make sure the plant has, water covering the entire thing. And then if he's out, because he's been kind of sleeping underneath the log and stuff, kind of supporting himself up against the pole. So if he's out, I'll then take the little water thing and put a couple drops right on top of his head. And if he's thirsty, he'll start drinking it that way. And if not, then I'll kind of leave him alone. But yeah, they don't drink water in the wild.
Yeah, the beardies at work. That's why I concentrate on misting the half log, because they'll drink out of the cracks in that. Their salad dish, because they'll drink around the vegetation, and then that fake aloe plant, because it'll actually hold water at the base of it, or in between the little leaves.
Yeah, exactly. I that aloe plant will hold water in the little pockets, so that's what I've been doing too. Yep. Been predominantly watering those plants.
The fake plant. Water the fake plants.
Yep.
What is a fish? Yeah.
What is a fish you want to get in 25? Or plant?
I need to get more. I really need to get my breeding rack up for my Neocaridina shrimp. So I think that's what I'm going to work on in 2025.
Yeah.
Is starting my first 2 tanks of color specific Neos. I'm probably just going to start with I don't know if I want to start with red and blue or blue and orange. Or maybe even snowballs, because we don't carry the snowballs at work.
Well, yeah. See, I have been thinking about maybe potentially getting a fish that I've kept before and I really enjoyed, and then I eventually didn't have any of them anymore. They all eventually died off. But we have a bunch of them at work right now, and nobody ever sees them because they're in a bottom tank versus in one of the top tanks where they should be, because they hang out at the surface all the time. And that is the albino white cloud minnows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to get those.
I love those. They're absolutely gorgeous. They just move around all the time. And I used to have this little bitty indoor pond. And it was running good for a while. And then it just eventually kind of crashed.
Yeah. I need to work on my house plants this year.
Like that again. Or I need to set up a bigger tank for them.
Yeah. I need to work on getting my house plants back up to health. And maybe a couple more.
My Bob the cactus is really nice and big now.
Probably need to get something back in here. Clear this off. I was actually thinking about getting rid of this desk and getting a proper bookshelf instead, so I can actually properly display all this stuff instead of it all just cluttered on one shelf.
Yeah, I have this. See, this is Bob the cactus is right there, and then I have this big old aloe plant that I need to divide up. So I've been kind of waiting on it for right now, but if I can figure out whether or not I can actually grow plants in this sand, or if I need to add something else to it, I'll maybe add some stuff, a little bit of stuff to it to kind of make a mixture. Once I figure that out, I'm gonna divide up that aloe plant.
That'd be cool.
And add one of the aloe plants in here, one of the smaller ones, and then, put the big one in a nice big pot, and then figure out what to do with some of these other babies. And, if you want one, I can give one to you too.
I already have 2 baby aloes from my my mother plant giving off babies, so I have 3 aloes already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good on aloe. My bucket list fish is a group of festivums.
Festivums.
That'd be cute. And I don't know what
Festivus for the rest of us.
I don't know what those
Leptopanchas Oreogatatus. Oreogatatus.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Oh, let me highlight it on my whatever. I'll just start Leptopanchaks.
Panchax. I don't know what X is in Latin. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Oreo. There we go. Autocorrect. Oh, one of those. I know what they are from looking at it.
Ray-finned killies.
Yeah, these guys.
Oh, cute. Those are neat. I wish we had more than just the Gold Wonder killifish at Petco.
Yeah. It was funny. Speaking of, I had somebody come in like a week or two ago, and they were looking at some of the different fish, and they kind of knew. They knew a little bit about most of the fish, tetras, mollies, guppies, and then they're looking, and they're like, golden wonder killifish, like, what kind of fish is that?
It's a killifish.
I'm like, well, what do you mean? It's a killifish. And so I was kind of like, they're an egg scatterer type,
Egg scatter, they're top fish, top water fish, yeah.
Yeah. They're also big jumpers and all that. Yes. Like, oh, okay, I don't have a lid on my tank. Well, yeah, like, you probably don't want those.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Next week, I should have, well, I'm not sure if I'll have everything yet, but I ordered myself some stuff off the internet, and at least the first part of it should be here early next week. It's expected on Tuesday, so hopefully it will be here on Tuesday, and that'd be great. I'm really excited for that. And then we'll see if the other parts come in next week too, and if they do, then I'll have some cool stuff to share next week.
Nice.
Either way, I'll have at least one thing to show next week.
Yeah, we need to figure out what we're doing for our work Christmas party for next week.
Oh, it is? We are doing it next week?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian and I were kind of talking about it today, so we'll all have to sit down and talk about it. The ideas that we have.
They are awesome in some long planted takes, yeah. If you get them, really nice long tank, and then you want to have Vallisneria and swords, big plants that go all the way up to the surface, because it's cool to watch them navigate their way through the tall plants and all that.
Eat.
Otherwise, they just kind of sit there at the surface. But they are pretty.
And they wait, and they wait, and they wait.
The Golden Wonder males can be super pretty.
I just realized I have to clean the tarantula cages tomorrow.
Are you scared?
Of the one arboreal one that we have a little bit.
The one that ends up in the corner all
The
the
one
time?
that's at the opening of the cage, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's more that I feel bad that I'm going to end up disrupting his web. He worked so hard on it. He or she. It worked so hard on it. And it's a beautiful little tunnel, and I'm going to destroy it.
That's a beautiful tarantula, too. That's one of the pink toes.
I think so. I'm not sure.
It's not the avicularia. I don't remember what type of pink toe it is. Oh, that's what it is. The Antilles pink toe.
Oh my god, Gina, I know. It's going to be the last thing I do because I swear to God, if it runs out, it's just going to live outside the cage in the store. Like it's just going to live in the shelving because I'm not going to pick it up.
This is what the adults, when they're babies, they're blue. When they're adults, they turn this color. And this is what we have as an adult Antilles pink toe. And then we also have another one. It's a red rump.
Yeah, Brian was saying that there's a newer one that we have that he's pretty sure is terrestrial, but whoever set it up didn't put enough dirt into it, so I need to make sure that they're...
It's funny you say that because that's what I told him.
Ah. Well, yeah, he was probably relaying that to me since I'm the one cleaning the cages now, so...
Yeah.
Yep, I'll make sure they have at least an inch, probably more like an inch and a half dirt so they can bury down.
Yeah, I don't think it's a curly hair. I'm not 100% sure what type of tarantula it is, but it's definitely got some really fluffy orange hairs. And yeah, it keeps kicking all the substrate into the corners. So it's definitely like trying to burrow in some sort of way.
What type of enclosure is it in? It's in an acrylic box with the top slidey do.
Yeah, so it's in something kind of similar to this, but it's more of a cube shape. I think it's like what a 2.5 gallon cube or something like that.
Maybe just 2.
Yeah, it's probably 2 gallon cube. Yeah.
Or you leave it for another day for the new guy on the job. I am the new guy.
Yeah.
So
I'm not afraid of tarantulas. What do you do about phobias for employees?
You tell them to suck it up, Buttercup, and do your job. No, I'm kidding.
You tell them to suck it up, or we work around it. I mean, obviously, if you're afraid of the animals, why are you getting a job where your job is to take care of the animals?
So I've actually had that at this store back before I quit, is that people would come in asking if we're hiring and they go, I don't have to interact with the dogs, right? I'm afraid of dogs. I'm like, then this is the wrong job for you. So yeah, if it's a phobia like that to where you're afraid of dogs, we will not hire you because you have to be able to interact with dogs at least.
Right. And we're not just even talking about like interacting with, but like that's part of the customer service thing. Yeah. Somebody comes in with their dog and they're wanting help finding the right sort of dog food. You can't just be like, can you take your dog outside? Like, we need the type of people that are just going to hop in there and like do it, not be afraid of the dog or whatever. Like, I mean, obviously sometimes people might bring in a dog that might make you a little bit nervous or whatever.
Right. Because people do bring in their untrained dogs.
Sadly.
Yeah.
But I mean, me personally, I've gotten a lot better with like the ball pythons and stuff. But when I first started working at a pet store, like snakes were some of the few animals that still would give me the heebie-jeebies. I make my hair stand up a little bit and
Mhm.
all that, you know. Tarantulas still do. They'll make my hair stand up a little bit, but it's mainly that I'm just like, yeah, like Gina said, one, I don't want to mess up their webs or anything like that because they did such a good job on it and all that stuff too. But then also, like, I know how fragile they are.
Yes.
I know how jumpy they can be, and so it's like I don't want to hurt the tarantula.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not scared of it biting me because the likeliness of any of the tarantulas that we get in being that type of aggressive species that's just gonna lash out at you is very low.
Mhm.
I almost got bit by a Pac-Man frog,
Yeah.
but I was not. None of the tarantulas had any care in the world as to anything revolving my hand or the spray bottle or anything like that. They're not jumpy out or anything at all. Now there are some like New World species of tarantulas that are like that. Um, and just don't get one of those.
Make a transfer box out of a tote. Cut 2 holes in the lid for your arms. That way it can't escape. Yeah. I don't think we have anything like that I could do that with at the job right now.
Basically, the way I always suggest to try to do it, if you don't want to like actually like touch the tarantula at all, is to just get everything out of the enclosure that you can, so it's just the tarantula left in the enclosure. If you can't get the substrate out, obviously, like just do whatever. But then just turn the enclosure on its side and put it into whatever sort of temporary enclosure you have, and then you use a paintbrush
Yeah.
to kind of
Like
just
coax them out.
coax just poke them from the backside,
Mhm.
whichever direction you want to go. You can poke them on the front too if you want them to go backwards, but just you coax them in the direction you want them to go, and they'll go. Uh, Depending on the type, you might want to wear eye protection just in
Yep.
case they do kick some hairs up, but you already got glasses.
I think we have a pair of goggles back in the wellness room too.
Yeah. You really don't want to get those hairs in your eyes.
Oh. That's odd. Searching for a job if you can't take it, we're willing to learn. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I wouldn't touch barehanded was crickets. Yeah, so that's one thing in the interview that I always ask is if they are afraid of bugs or mice, because that's the other really common things that everybody should be able to get on the fly because they are the most popular things.
Yep. I mean,
Um,
at least, especially in our Petco specifically, I'm not sure if it's the same in every Petco, but our Petco specifically, we have the crickets right up there at the check lanes.
Yep.
So everybody gets the crickets.
Yep. The other thing I usually ask about, the other issue that you usually have, not necessarily phobias, but allergies. There's a lot of people that are allergic to guinea pigs or the hay. So they
Yeah.
cannot interact with the guinea pigs at all. There was a couple of people at the last store I just left that could not open animals or could not open the small animals or at least not deal with the guinea pigs because they were allergic to them.
Yeah. Yep.
Use a plastic pet bottle cut off at both ends. Yeah, Brian was saying something about using a beta cup, but those are so shallow. I don't know.
I mean, you should be able to coax them into the betta cup and then put the lid on. I think that would be fine because the tarantulas that we have right now are like the size of this remote or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not super large. And what most people don't also understand is a tarantula, any spider, insect, whatever, they can, or arachnid, but yeah, anyway, they can be quick for like a short period of time, but like spiders, their whole body is like a hydraulic system. They don't have muscles to open their legs. They only have muscles to contract their legs. That's why whenever a spider dies, they curl up in a ball like that.
Mhm.
But it's their single chamber heart that puts blood out into their legs like a hydraulic system, and as it pumps blood in, their legs go out. And so they can do like a really short burst of like maybe a couple inches, but after they do that, the spider's got to sit there and rest and catch its breath more or less, because it just exerted a whole crap ton of energy to even have that short little like sprint.
Go buy a cheap clear tote and do it yourself. Trust me, it's worth it. Yeah, I might after this. Yeah. Run to Target and find just a cheap one. Or maybe even I don't think Five Below would have big enough ones, but maybe like the dollar store.
They got those plastic holding, like the fish little holding tanks or whatever. We got plenty of stuff up there.
Well, no, like a big tote, like he's talking about, and then making 2 armholes so that they're like a clear one, so you can see what you're doing, and then yeah, essentially a big tote to put that enclosure in to open it and like coax it out into that bigger tote.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm picturing you like working in like a science lab.
Yeah.
With like your
essentially.
Arms. We have to get the tarantula into the other enclosure.
Yep. Essentially. Yeah, and then I'll have the big saltwater gloves so that I'm not actually touching it. Yep.
Oh my gosh. You had me at spider heart.
Obviously, you never handled an OBT. They laugh at short bursts.
OBT. I don't know what that one is.
OBT, is that?
Unless you meant, oh, no. Never mind.
OBT. I'm trying to think. My brain's not braining.
Mine either. Anyway.
Orange bottle tarantula? No, there's a green bottle tarantula.
That's what I have, is a green bottle blue tarantula. The Chromatopelma cyaneo.
Orange baboon. There you go.
That's exactly, the orange baboon is what one of my coworkers' friends has, I believe. So he said it's like just too crazy for him. He can't handle it. It scares the crap out of him because it's just so fast and all that. And they're absolutely gorgeous. And I told him, it's just like, I'll take it if you really want to get rid of it. But yeah, they are a gorgeous spider. Definitely don't recommend handling any of these guys. But look at
that angry little dude.
Right, look how angry it is, but also look at that gorgeous color on the underside of their little pedipalp paws. It's just absolutely beautiful, the colorations.
Yeah. Or affectionately called the orange bitey thing.
Orange bitey thing.
As you're showing pictures of it flaring up and being aggressive.
Yep.
No, thank you.
Look at the little baby one, though.
Look at the baby. Oh, dear Lord.
So what's interesting, this is apparently the most effective way to pick up a tarantula, is to just grab it like that, because there's no way for it to bite you when you just grab it like this.
No, thank you.
I personally will never grab a tarantula like that, just because it scares the crap out of me to just grab one like that.
I still feel like it could like throw hairs, like right.
But apparently I've seen people do it, and even just watching them do it, it makes me just kind of do this sort of thing. But you just like if you grab a tarantula from the top, there's no way for it to bite you because they have to pick up their fangs in order for them to bite. So that is the safest way, apparently, to pick up a tarantula is to grab it from the top like that. But man, it just yoink like
No, thank you. Same way you would grab a lobster. No, thank you. Well, yeah, I would grab a lobster, but no, like you were saying earlier, I'd be afraid to hurt it. Like I'd be afraid it would shift forward or like do a quick burst forward, and I like grab the wrong area and like hurt it.
Well, right, exactly, yeah. But yeah, I wonder top grab to ridge. I want to see if they have a video.
No, thank you.
No, yeah. You can look it up yourself if you want to.
I'm good. Thank you.
But anyway, guys, we're here. We're at the 2-hour mark.
I gotta eat and go to bed.
Yeah. Gina has to wake up early tomorrow.
My first alarm's gonna go off at 5. We'll see if I actually wake up in time. I gotta set my coffee maker to make coffee to be ready at 5:30.
Yep.
I pre-wash my cup.
I got to do it one time, but you're the animal care specialist, so it's your job to make those animals
leader.
pretty.
I'm the animal care leader.
Leader.
Excuse you.
I said specialist. In that, yeah. Any proper gloves you can use? I mean, any sort of like leather glove or whatever is.
But then you come into the issue if it's too thick of a glove, like knowing the proper pressure because you can't really feel what you're doing.
Yeah, and swimming glasses. Yeah, you want to use fully like goggles that actually close on all those sides because those urticating hairs are super small and they can get anywhere and all that. Yeah, I've always had issues with gloves personally. Just because I like to be able to touch stuff to know exactly like how much pressure and what I'm touching and all those different things. And there's a certain give and take with gloves, you know. And
that's why it's so funny whenever Brian was helping me clean animals last Sunday and he was doing the birds. He uses the net to catch them, and I was like, "You're gonna laugh next time you see me catch a bird because I just snatch them. I just grab them barehanded."
See, I don't feel right doing that either. It's nice to have that net.
I snatch them up. I'm just like, get over here.
I just don't like getting bit.
Yeah, Marco bites really, really hard. So some of those parakeets do bite really hard, especially if they get you in the nail bed. Oh
yeah,
so
if they
bad.
get you right there on the corner of your finger, like that's the worst. Well, anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to double check my schedule to see if I'm gonna even actually stream next Saturday or not. I don't know if I'm closing Saturday or not, or maybe I don't know. Anyway, look out for the live stream, and we might be live streaming. Don't know. Anyway, have a great one.
Bye.
So long, and thanks for the fish.